give you a little update what's going on here today. I believe in the last video you've seen the 65 Pontiac. We'll get you going on here again. So here's this Pontiac. Like I said, this customer brought this car into me. He said, look, Rick, he goes, I'm not looking to build a car to take the car shows. I just like this car. It's a cool cruiser. I just want to clean it up, tidy it up, make it look a little better than it already does. When the car came to us, of course, you know, like we explained in several videos, we knew it had all the rust around the rear window. But you guys have commented and been like, holy shit, you're going to have to get a whole new roof for that. But we will fix it. Believe it or not, we'll pull the glass, and once we start grinding away here, we'll see what goes on. You remember how thick it is down in there. But anyway, what we've done here, or what Steve has done, I should say, is he's cut out my new welder fabricator. He's cut that out and he's starting to butt weld a piece in here, and he's done the whole lower section of the door. Now all of this is covered up with chrome and stainless, but still we want to do it, you know, we want to do this like proper. Now granted, like I said, these pieces he kind of butt welded in there. The fender piece, he just kind of put it in behind there a little bit, and then we did our seam sealer in behind. We did all our proper, in here it's butt welded of course, and he's brought it up to the edge here. We did the seam sealer and the treatment in behind. We weren't going to start pulling the fenders and all that. The customer does not want to get that carried away, yanking the fenders and getting too carried away. So I'm trying to work within the customer's budget. So that is exactly what's going on there. But the car's coming along quite well. He's already got the other side of the door done and the fender. Now quarter panels, we are just going to have to try and find quarters and cut them right off. And then who knows what we're going to find in behind that. So we'll have to fix that up and see what's going on. So that is what's going on with that. As you can see, Casey's car is up on the hoist there. And if you remembered, we got all the back pan piece all made up, where it was all rotted out there. You can't buy that piece for a Pontiac. It's totally different than a Chevy. For us Canadians, the Canadian Pontiac and the Canadian 55 Chevys use a lot of the same parts, but when it comes to some of the body panels, they are different. So we got that all done, and we've got all the, like these are the same as a 55 Chev, and these are the little, if you can see that, oh, let me get by here, if you can see, that's sort of like a splash guard, stops all the shit from going up inside the quarters. And they don't need to be welded solid. All you do is just kind of do a spot weld every few inches apart, and they're all good to go. And of course they got the factory hole that they do drill in them for you for the drain plug and that. So that's what's going on there with Casey's. And of course, if you walk in the shop here, Dave is working away here. This is all Dean. If you remember Dean with the Pontiac, the other one, the 55, the rag top, these are all his bits and pieces for the interior moldings. Here's his doors here. We're getting ready. A lot of this stuff is starting to get painted. So maybe when we get the camera up and going here in the next little bit, we'll show you the car itself. So it's a nice quiet morning this morning. Nobody's here yet because it's only 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, sometimes that's just what time you got to get out here in the morning. And of course, there you can see there's our Cutlass that we got running, that you heard running. So I've got her up in stands now. I've pulled all the wheels. I've yanked everything apart. I've kind of gone through the whole car, written a list out of exactly what this car needs, because the owner will be coming out here on Friday to square up for what he owes me so far. And I can give him the list, and I can see exactly just what he wants to do with this car. And of course, we got our lovely jet skis over there, and more jet skis over here. And this is the last final 4 jet skis. It's the end of September, and that's it. We will not see jet skis now until June. June till September. Now, the Charger, of course, is here. But what you guys didn't see is, here's our latest project. Now, I can't remember. I'm getting bad. There's so many things coming in, I can't remember. This is 71 or 72 Blazer. Obviously, 4-wheel drive. We're doing a complete frame-off restoration on this truck. The frame is getting taken apart into a million pieces, going to get powder coated. Everything on it's going to get powder coated. The truck is going to go, the customer wants to go with the truck silver. So that's exactly what's going to happen. So it's getting everything from interior. We're putting an LS motor in it. He's actually putting a steering column on it that's got all the paddle shifters. We're going to be installing that in the truck. And I tell you, what a son of a bitch to push this thing around. Loaded with parts inside. Now some of it we're using, some of it we're not. I don't know if he's reusing his dash. Like, he's doing everything over from square one. So everything you see here is probably going to get ripped out and just done over. We're going to put a roll cage in it. We're going to go through the whole thing. So this is a big job. And actually, this truck is extremely solid. The only rust that we found is right down in the bottom of the door corners. That's it. I've gone through the whole thing. I can't find any rust or body filler. Somebody Frenched an antenna here. I do believe that somewhere along here is where the gas filler was originally, and they Frenched an antenna. It's got the removable top, so there we are. That's what's going on there. And what you can see tucked away in the corner here is the quarter panel. That's for the driver's side of our Charger here. The owner has said, hey, let's do the quarter panel on the driver's side. So we're going to do that. Chris has pretty much got the wiring finally figured out and finished off. It took a little while to wire this car because the customer, he didn't want us to buy the factory harness. He said no, the factory harness was big money. It was going to be like around $2,400, but it was a plug and play. I mean, it just all plugs together and you're done in a day. He said he didn't want to spend that because he thought it was a lot of money, so we bought him American Auto Wire Route 15 or Highway 15, whatever they call it, which is, you know, $800. But the problem is this car never had a wiring harness to begin with when it came here. So now you get this harness and you have to figure out, like, there's no plugs to go into the gauges, there's no dash lights, there's no nothing. We have to buy all that stuff now individually. Then you have to sit and figure out like all the plugs where everything goes. Like, Chris has to figure out where every single wire off the steering column is supposed to plug into because we don't have the plug for it. So, I mean, does this work? It works. You know, I don't know. The customer is trying to save some money here. At the end of the day, I don't know if he saved any money or not. He might have saved a couple hundred. He might have saved a few $100 here, you know, doing it this way. But it would have been so much easier for us had he just got the original harness. But hey, I'm not here to knock him. I guess every little bit adds up. So if you can save a few hundred here and a few hundred there, I guess it helps out. Honestly, though, in my opinion, if we're all watching out there, you're going to do a car like this, especially Chargers, anything Mopar, because they seem to be the car for money, I would have put an original harness in it. I'm not trying to be a smart ass. I'm just saying I would have, because if you ever go to resell this car and you get the real fanatic out there, the real guy that's like, hey, you know, I want to make sure everything's matching on this car, he's going to say, well, shit, that's not the right harness. But I mean, the car hasn't got the right engine either, and Steve's just building the car. He says he's always wanted one. He just wants to have fun. He wants to drive it. So he's not trying to build a matchy number car. So that's all good. And I guess, you know what, if he can cut corners and save a little money here and there, that's what it's all about. We're all about trying to save a little money and keep another old car on the road. Isn't that right? So there we go. Anyway, guys, thanks for subscribing. I don't know what else to tell you. This thanks a lot. We got lots of t-shirts for sale. We are going to be coming up with a new design pretty soon here. I'm hoping to have it done and ready before Christmas. I'm hoping to have a new shirt out there for sometime end of November. But that's about it. There's still lots of the old ones left. We'll always have lots of the old ones. And that's about it. So hey, remember, it's always a good time at old time. And we'll see you next time.